Welcome to the first episode of what could be a little bit of a series before I start my next Out of Park Baseball series, if I do. And it'll be a series where I basically go over historical teams when using the historical exhibition feature, and then we, of course, play them out. Now, here you go. Here, we're just going to go over the teams here for this first historical exhibition. We're going to do the 86 Mets versus the 1994 Montreal Expos. Here are the lineups for the 86 Mets. Their lineup is Lenny Dykstra, Wally Backman, Keith Fernandez, Darryl Strawberry, Kevin Mitchell, Mookie Wilson, Ray Knight, and Gary Carter. That is their lineup there in terms of their batting lineup. For pitching, they're having Sid Fernandez, Dwight Gooden, and Bob Ojeda. I don't know. And then I think their closest thing they have to a closer is Ron Darling. I don't know if they actually have a closer here. Do they? No, they don't. But Ron Darling is their closest thing to a closer. Meanwhile, if I can go Expos. They are led, their lineup at least, has Marquise Grissom, Sheen Berry, Moises Alou, Larry Walker, Will Cordero, there's no R there, Darren Fletcher, Mike Lansing, and Randy Milligan. Pitching wise, they have Pedro Martinez, Jeff Facero, and Butch Henry. Closer, the closer for the Expos is John Wetland. Anyways, it's a one-game series because I'm not going to record another game after this. So, here we go. Sid Fernandez is going to be starting, of course, for the Mets, and Pedro Martinez will be starting for the Expos. Let's go here. Is creating the pictures for the players. Currently, it looks like the Mets are certainly the much better team. I'm hoping the Expos can pull it off, but they may not be able to, so let's find out here. Time is it? Alright, it's 9:20. Also, sorry if you can hear my air conditioner. It's very windy outside, so I can like hear the air conditioner moving for some reason. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, just know that there might be some background noises. Anyways, we're gonna watch this first at bat here from Lenny Dykstra. He's gonna hit the ball. It's gonna go straight to the center fielder, Grissom, and he makes the catch there. Next up for the Mets is Wally Backman. Backman is going to get, I think, a single there, and yes, he will. One out there. Next up for the Mets, Keith Fernandez with one out. The first baseman now up against Martinez, and that's going to be one out, and that is going to end off the top of the first here, as I think the Mets, yeah, there's a double play there, off of one out. So, yeah, that's it there. Top of the first over. And now bottom of the first, Marquise Grissom is now up for the Montreal Expos. And he strikes out. Next up for the Expos is Sean Berry, whatever. By the way, I'd like to mention this game is currently, didn't work. But yeah, we're playing the game at Olympic Stadium, which also I don't think this actually looks much like Olympic Stadium, but it probably just isn't in the game. At least not that accurately. Alright, anyways, that is it there. That was, I think, another strikeout, yeah. So now Moises Alou is up. Let's see, can he save the Expos? That ball is hit, but it is, I think, hits to the right fielder there. I don't know why I said left field. And therefore, it is now still 0-0 as we enter the second inning. Darryl Strawberry now up for the Mets. And he is going to walk Kevin Mitchell. now up. Didn't work there. There we go. Kevin Mitchell now up for the Mets. Yeah, I think bunted there, which he's out. And that now means 1 out as Strawberry advances to second. And now Mookie Wilson is heading up now to the plate for the Mets. And he strikes out, as that is 2 outs now. On the board is Ray Knight, the 7th batter for the Mets, now up. He's going to hit that ball into right field. And potentially Strawberry could score here. And it looks like he probably has. And did he score? Yep, he did. The commentator confirmed it on the play-by-play, which means now the Mets are up 1-0 over the 94 Expos. Gary Carter now up for the 86 Mets. And that is going to be the final out. But the Mets still get a score on the board. 1-0 Mets. Up to the 86 Mets, I guess I should be precise. I don't think it really matters. Larry Walker. Will Cordero takes a few practice cuts. Whatever the hell that said. 1 out, somebody on first. And it looks like that's a double play, and that will end off the second inning. As it is now 1-0 Mets. Top of the third now. Sid Fernandez, the pitcher, now up for the Mets. And he is going to hit that ball up into left center field, and that's going to be caught for 1 out. Lenny Dykstra now back up for the Mets on 1 out here in the top of the third. He's going to hit that ball, and that is going to be caught once again. And that is 2 outs now as Wally Backman, yes, is now up for the 86 Mets. There we go. Backman on first with Keith Hernandez at the plate. And the 86 Mets are still up 1-0, however, cannot get anything done, as now Mike Lansing is now up for the Expos. And that is going to be 1 out. Now up for the Montreal Expos is Randy Milligan, the first baseman, the last actual batter for them that is yet to hit. And it looks like he struck out there. 2 outs as now up for the Mets, or sorry, for the 94 Expos, Pedro Martinez. Not exactly a good batter, so let's see how this goes. And he is going to walk. Alright then. Marquise Grissom now up here. And that's going to be a strikeout as the 1994 Expos end off with still no runs in this game so far. Darryl Strawberry now up top of the fourth. One out. Next up, Kevin Mitchell, the shortstop. Top of the fourth. Two. Mookie Wilson. 2 outs. And that'll be, oh no, what the fuck just happened? I know, I got a single. Alright, I don't know how that happened, but alright. The runner here, and it looks like he's trying to steal, and he will be safe as Wilson gets a steal there. 2 outs is now Ray Knight is up for the Mets. And that's going to be a ball into center field. Will it be enough to score a runner? And it looks like it will be, as the Mets are now up 2-0. The 86 Mets take a 2-0 lead over the 94 Expos. Gary Carter now up for the 86 Mets. And that is going to be it right there. Bottom of the fourth now. Up for the 94 Expos, Sean Berry once again. I think it is Berry. I know there's one person I knew who would have it be like it was that name, but they would pronounce it Sean for some goddamn reason. I hated it. Moises Alou. That kid was not good either. Anyways, Moises Alou up for the Expos. And there we go. Alou is on first, 1 out. Larry Walker, 2 outs as Larry Walker strikes out. He's not had a good game so far, I'd have to say. Will Cordero now up. And 2 outs, so it's not looking good for the Expos now. And yep, he strikes out, and the Expos merely get a hit. And only get a hit, as now it is still 2-0 to the Mets as we enter the top of the fifth. Sid Fernandez is going to be up first for the 86 Mets. He strikes out, not much of a shock there. Lenny Dykstra, center fielder, back up for the New York Mets. That's up. And that's going to be all the way to the wall, as it looks like Dykstra gets two bases there. And Dykstra picks up a double right there. Next up, Wally Backman now up for the 86 Mets. The Mets, there we go. It looks like Dykstra scores, as now the 86 Mets are now up by 3-0. And in the top of the fifth right here. Now up, Keith Fernandez. Backman goes over to second, and Keith Fernandez on first through a walk. As now Darryl Strawberry heads to the plate. Deals. And Strawberry pops up to the catcher. That's going to be 2 outs now. As Kevin Mitchell is now taking on Pedro Martinez here for the final out or another hit. But it is going to end up being a walk instead. I was actually wrong there. Neither of those options happened, which means now it's Backman, Hernandez, and Mitchell on base. Mookie Wilson up to the plate. There is, however, 2 outs, so if any outs happen, that's it right there. Wilson, however, will deal the ball to the second baseman, which will deal it to first. And that will end off the top of the fifth. Nothing on bases loaded, but either way, I mean, that's still another run for the Mets. And the Expos have not done well hitting at all. Sid Fernandez really has them where he wants them, I'd say currently. Darren Fletcher now up for the 94 Expos. And he actually does get a hit, but let's see if they're able to actually do anything with it, because that seems to be the trend here, is the 94 Expos cannot get a single run for the moment for this game so far. Mike Lansing now up for the Expos. Lansing strikes out. And that will be Fletcher on first and Lansing at the base. Lansing strikes out, 1 out. Milligan hits, 2 outs. As now pinch hitting for the pitcher for Pedro Martinez is now Cliff Floyd in for Pedro Martinez here. He's going to hit that ball. It's going to the wall, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder. And 1 hit, but nothing else there again for the Expos. They just can't take advantage of their opportunities and really get anybody else on base outside of maybe 1 per inning. It seems to be their major problem here. It also looks like that Pedro Martinez is out, replaced by relief pitcher Mel Rojas. Or is he a reliever? I can't actually. Yeah, he's a reliever. All right. Ray Knight now up to the plate. That's going to be there, and that is going to be the first out for the Expos against the 86 Mets. Next up, Gary Carter up for the 86 Mets. And that's out number 2. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Sid Fernandez now up for the Mets. And he is going to strike out on the check swing. And it'll end off the New York's part of the 6th inning. 3-0 still as the Expos get back up with the top of their lineup. Marquise Grissom now at the plate against Sid Fernandez. And he will pop out to the center fielder. Next up for the 94 Expos, Sean Berry. Or Sean Berry. Or, I don't know how we pronounce it, honestly. I'm not him. Sean Berry stands at the plate. He's 0 for 2 currently. And he will actually walk as Fernandez walks him, and as Moises Alou heads to the plate, he could do some damage here, but so far he's only been reduced to 2 at-bats and 1 hit. Let's hope that the Expos will change it around here. And that will be to right field, as now it looks like he's going for third, as Alou goes for second, and that'll be, and they will both be safe, as now Berry is on third, Alou on second. There we go. Larry Walker now at the plate. And he strikes out. 2 outs now against the Expos here. As now it's Willow Cordero. 0 for 1 currently. That's going up. That's going high. And that will be gone as the Expos tie up the game at 3. The ball traveled only 396 feet, but alas, the Expos have finally tied up as Cordero gets the only home run we have seen so far in this entire game. Fletcher now up with 2 outs against Fernandez, and it looks like he will pop out to I think that was third baseman here. 3-3. As the Mets now are desperately looking for a run to hopefully secure the game here. Lenny Dykstra up for the Mets. And it's hit to the shortstop, and he will be out. Although it definitely looks like he was safe, the umpire calls him out. Wally Backman. And Backman, 2 outs. Now up, and looks like, actually, hold on, the Mets have subbed out Sid Fernandez in exchange for Jeff Facero, who will now be the pitcher. Hernandez now in for, oh no, that's actually the Expos pitcher, Facero, sorry. Either way, nothing really there, as 3-3 remains the score here. Next up for 94 Expos, Mike Lansing. And Mike Lansing first. On first as Milligan, now up. Milligan on first, and Lansing at second. Frazier, the pinch hitter here for, looks like Lou Frazier is now batting here, and he will get it to the first guy. But it looks like that will be it there. Now it's third and first here. Lansing on third, Milligan out. Frazier, the pinch hitter, now at first. Grissom now here to start the center fielder here. And he is going to potentially, yep, that's a double play. And that will end off the Montreal 7th inning. Sadly for them, no runs are scored, and it is still tied at 3. Now pitching for the Expos, relief pitcher Tim Scott. Top of the 8th, Tim Scott now on the mound for the 1994 Expos. And that'll be a walk against Darryl Strawberry. Kevin Mitchell. And Mitchell is out. Over to second goes Darryl Strawberry there. Now up for the Mets is Mookie Wilson, the left fielder. He's currently 1 for 3 today. And he will walk once again. This pitcher is not looking good for Tim Scott. He is not doing well currently. Even though he actually looks like a really good reliever, he just isn't performing to what he should be. It's not looking good, and it looks like there's going to be a steal, and it looks like he's out. Wilson advances to second, but Strawberry's out. 2 outs. Ray Knight still at the plate. And he is going to hit it to left field. We'll see. Will he? I imagine that Wilson will be able to score. And it looks like, yep, Knight scores with Wilson advancing to home. It's now 4-3 in favor of the 86 Mets, as Gary Carter is now at the plate. Carter now at, he throws it to the first baseman or pitcher, I can honestly tell, but either way, that's the end of the top of the 8th. The bottom of the 8th, for the Expos, they need runs. Sean Berry now up, third baseman. And that will be the first out. Moises Alou now up. And that will be the second out. And now we have Larry Walker here. Jesse Orozco now pitching for the 86 Mets. And that will end off the Montreal 8th inning there. Now entering the top of the 9th here. It looks like Howard Johnson is now the pinch hitter for the New York Mets here. See what he does. This will most likely be his last at bat in this game. And he ends up walking. He never even got a strike. Alright. Now up. Now pitching for the Expos is John Wetland. Lenny Dykstra now up for the Mets. 1 for 4 currently. He strikes out, and he's going to end off the game 1 for 5. 1 out right there. Now up is Wally Backman, the second baseman, now up for the New York Mets. And that will be a double play, as the Mets ended off with not much to really show for it. 4-3. As it looks like now a new pitcher is in for the Mets. And that, of course, being Ron Darling is in for the Mets. Meanwhile, Will Cordero is going to lead off here for the Montreal Expos. Darling. Cordero, and that's going to go into right field. And he's going to try for a double, and I think he is safe there. And he is safe, yes. Darren Fletcher, the catcher for the Montreal Expos, now here. And that is now 1 out. Matt Lansing here. One out. Lansing at the base. 2 outs. 4-3 as now Milligan. Now up here. Milligan takes his time digging in. And now that will be, I think that's going to be the final out. And it is, as the Mets win here. Very close to it. If that was a different ball, I mean, that would have been it. But the 86 Mets have won this exhibition game. And that is it. for this game. Let's look at the stats, and then I'm definitely done here. Click. There we go. Yep, there we go. With little doubt. There were, of course, only 7 hits today. 3 by Knight, who was definitely the best player here. But also 2 by Backman, who also got an RBI. I mean, Knight just did really well there. He got 3 of them. He also didn't even do, I don't even think he did off a home run. He just got 3 RBIs. Meanwhile, Cordero got 1 run, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. He also struck out once. That's the way it is there. He had more hits than strikeouts there. Meanwhile, Montreal had 5 hits and 10 strikeouts. There we go. Not really much I wanted to say there, but yeah, basically, that's about it. It turns out the 86 Mets are indeed better than the 94 Expos. If you wanted to know that, I guess kind of did, considering, I played it out. But yeah, here you go. Next one will probably be some other team. Who really knows? And, yeah, goodbye. That'll be it for this episode.